Hey guys, welcome back. We have Cross Heart updated
Ooh.
with the new restriction. And who do I got in the studio with me? None other than Jesse. How's it going?
Me.
So how terrified are you of Cross Heart?
Right now?
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd ever see it again.
Right? So let me tell you guys.
At least not until the Cross 3 came out.
So definitely the Cross 3 will help the deck. But there is a great way to still play this deck without... Obviously, we will not have the strong top end that we did have before, but it's still a very playable and very good meta deck. So let's dive into it, shall we? So for those who have seen my previous Cross Heart list, this is very similar. I did end up making a couple changes in between the last recording, just because, I found some pieces that worked a little bit better, decided I didn't need 4 Cross 5s. So we'll start with the eggs. We'll just go real quick about it. Playing 4 Pikmons, mandatory 4 of. No other egg works in this deck. This egg is amazing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Were you tempted to add that 5th egg that everyone wanted you to add?
Nope. Never wanted to add a 5th egg.
Not once.
Not
okay.
once.
Sticking to his guns.
So
stand your ground.
Same thing for the level 4s. My level 3s did not change much. Still playing 4 of the new Shoutmon. Mandatory. You lose the game if you don't see this card. It's an outstanding card. Very, very good for the deck. I am playing a 4 of Starmons. Mandatory as well. Does tons and tons of work in this deck. Helps with the draw so much. And it's another Digicross requirement.
Yep.
Playing 4 of a Sparrowmon. And now Sparrowmon is even more important in this deck thanks to adding an additional Cross 5 going back up to 4 due to the Cross 5, right? With the Cross 4 restriction, right? So now this is a card that finally I can convince people to play. And I have been loving it the entire time. Everyone's heard me rant, if you know me, about this card. I love the Don Donko. He is so strong in this deck. Now, this is an additional piece, right? For me, I didn't have to worry about re-changing my whole deck to try to fit this 3 in because I already had it and I already loved it.
Yep.
I really do think I kind of built one of the best Cross Heart decks pre-restriction, right? And the Don Donko is like really important for that. He helps you Digivolve. He gives you tons of draw. He lets you keep these pieces in hand for when you need it. So, in case you Digivolve in the raising area, then you have a piece that's, you didn't use in hand in case you draw something that all of a sudden you're like, wait, I could have Digicrossed had I not, in the raising area, right? So, very, very important for the deck. Now we're going to dive into 4s. Not much has changed here besides, a certain restricted level 4. So we'll dive into 4 Darulus, 4 Ballistas.
Yeah.
The strength of this deck is really a lot of good chip damage, right? So you need these pieces, especially the extra level 3s that I play, to start early game aggression to kind of put your opponent on edge really quickly. And the Darulu, the Ballistas with the combination of the Tamers really help with that. These pop little guys that are preventing you from Digicrossing, great blockers, tons of versatility. Let's dive into some 4, right? So we have a Cross 4 now. This is the 1 of. This was a 4 of.
The only 1 of.
I mean, Bandai, I'm happy you restricted this. Definitely nerf this deck for sure. But this deck is still playable. In fact, we can recycle it.
Well, that used to be your win condition, right?
That was my win condition. Your win condition kind of changes now. Your win condition kind of shifts more to the Cross 5 and just having a really strong body that you played for cheap that happens to be a blocker, right? And to complement the Cross 4, I added in 2, because I wasn't playing any of this card.
Right.
The Shoutmon King version. Had this deck came out and Shoutmon Cross 4 wasn't as strong as it would have, I probably would have tried to play more Kings in this deck. Now it's just a good replacement, right? You can give it Rush with Shoutmon. You can recycle the Shout 4. It's got tons of versatility for this deck. So, guys, I did not use it before. I'm finally using it now. I think this is the time, since with the restriction, to take full advantage of it. And our win condition now, I would say, is Shoutmon Cross 5.
The big boy.
So if you guys have seen our previous video, I was playing 4 Cross 5s. I ended up taking 1 out to put in a 3rd Fireball, and it made all the difference in the world. 4 was too much back then. But it was never like, oh, I lost the game because I was just bricking because all I had was Shout 5. Like, it's still a very strong card. So I decided to go up into a 4th one of those and 2 of these in the replacement of my 3 Shout 4s.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then, the Tamers stay the same, in my opinion. I don't think you change the Tamers because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 4 Taikis.
Yeah.
Insanely powerful card.
Searcher.
helps you suspend it to Digicross, right? You very much need it. 4 Akaris, very effective draw power. And now this tamer got a whole lot more important with the Zenjiro, right?
Yeah.
To be able to gain memory, so that way when you play a Shout King, you can gain a little bit of memory and make that steep cost. Because yes, it can be a 3-cost rusher. You can make it a little bit cheaper with the Zenjiro. Really, really, really helps the deck. And for the final tamer, I am still sticking to the 2 Kahira.
Yep.
Not only is it great for the lore and the aesthetic of the deck, but I actually am truly convinced that you do not need to play the BT1 Tai. Yeah. You don't need the Tai and Kari. Yes, you probably do need a little bit more memory now, so I guess I could listen to the argument and I would understand if you decided to do Tai and Kari. But I still don't like the BT1 Tai. You want to have 6 bodies that can suspend to be able to use those pieces underneath, so you can almost kind of loop with the Cross 5. You're going to do an inferior loop with your compared to your Cross 4, but it's still going to be very effective. So having that additional tamer compared to a lot of lists that you can suspend, so you can play multiple Shout 5s in a turn, is really going to be key, guys. All right, so let's talk about another card that got restricted.
Yes.
I think this is the first time in a deck I've ever played 2 restricted cards. So very much still love the Sunrise Buster. This was a 3 of, but thankfully there is an okay replacement for this card. And that would be Trident Revolver.
There it is, yeah.
Now, I do know a lot of people love Crimson Blaze, and I definitely can see why they like Crimson Blaze. Very effective card. I still think the strength of this deck is being able to play Tamers, and this can actually play more Tamers than Sunrise Buster. So obviously, if Sunrise Buster wasn't restricted, this would still be 2 Sunrise Busters. No question about it. Right? But this card allows you to play Kahira and Zenjiro and pop a 6K, which a lot of times if it's just a pesky Mechanora getting in your way.
Whoa, why you got to beat up on the Mechanora?
Because you keep playing them against me.
I will.
So definitely 2 Trident Revolvers. And then my last card of the deck is still the same. 3 Fireballs. Yep. Very effective for draw, very effective for popping a little body that is just either pesky, preventing you from digicrossing, right? Or if it hits in security and they were just going to swing with one little guy to win, that can stop that. Yeah. So, all right, guys, this is the updated Crossheart list with the restrictions. I don't think there's any EX cards I would necessarily add. I would love to hear you guys' feedback. I cannot wait for the next set when we get that Cross 3. It's definitely going to change the game up for
and
sure.
The Shout Star.
And the Shout Star. Yeah. All sorts of crazy fun things coming out. So thanks for staying tuned. Bye.
Catch you next time.